Hi all, welcome to BIAS Academy, Science and Technology audio notes for prelims and mains. Unit 3, Part 1, Chapter 8, Indian Space Program, Past, Present and Future, ISRO Satellite Programs, Uses of Satellites in Health, Education, Communication, Weather Forecasting. Under Chapter 8, the topics which we are going to cover are ISRO tracking facilities like ISTRAC, that is ISRO Telemetry Tracking and Command Network, and then IDSN, India Deep Space Network, and the next topic is NISAR, NISAR, that is NASA and ISRO Synthetic Aperture Radar. After that, we will cover ISRO's Aditya L1 mission. Next topic is Parker's Solar Probe by NASA. And then we'll see PSLV C43 or Hyperspectral Imaging Satellite, in short HISIS. And the last topics are PSLV C44, C45 and C46 missions. So let's start with our topic of the day, tracking facilities of ISRO, or what is ISTRAC, that is ISRO Telemetry Tracking and Command Network, or what is IDSN, that is India Deep Space Network, or write up about the role of IDSN in space program. There are two major tracking facilities of ISRO. Tracking facilities, there are two. One is ISTRAC and IDSN. ISTRAC is ISRO Telemetry Tracking and Command Network, provides mission support to low Earth orbit satellites as well as launch vehicles. What does it do? It provides mission support to low Earth orbit satellites as well as vehicle missions. ISTRAC has headquarters and multi-mission space control center at Bengaluru. It has a network of ground stations at Bengaluru, Lucknow, Sriharikota, Port Blair, Thiruvananthapuram in India. Besides, it also has stations in Mauritius, Beers Lake, which is in Russia, and Brunei, and Biak in Indonesia. Biak, I'll spell it BIAK. It's in Indonesia. So it is a network of ground stations, and one is at Bengaluru headquarters, Lucknow, Sriharikota, Port Blair, which is in Andaman Nicobar, and Thiruvananthapuram in Kerala. Apart from that, it has stations in Mauritius, Beers Lake, Russia, Brunei, and Biak in Indonesia. This ISTRAC is ISRO's Telemetry Tracking and Command Network. Activities are organized into network operations, network augmentation, mission operation, and spacecraft health monitoring, communications and computers, and control center facilities and developmental projects. These are the areas where it works in. Now let's look at the other tracking facility, that is IDSN, which is Indian Deep Space Network in Larger Ground Station. It's a larger ground station and is a combination of huge antennas that can receive data from spacecrafts. So huge antennas receive data from spacecrafts, launch into remote spaces like, for example, Chandrayaan, Mangalyaan. So this deep space network is the receiving ground station. Okay, this was established at Bailalu, Byallalu village. It's a village near Bengaluru on October 17, 2008. The Indian Deep Space Network consists of 18 meters and 32 meter diameter antenna. How many diameters antenna? 18 meter and 32 meter antenna. This network also consists of 64 meter diameter antenna established in Russia, that is Beers Lake, B-E-A-R-S, Bear, B-E-A-R-S, Lake, L-A-K-E, Beers Lake in Russia. This is to improve the visibility, duration, and to provide support from such a far point. Okay, the main antenna within IDSN, that is Indian Deep Space Network's main antenna, is 32 meter deep space antenna. This is a state-of-art system and is supported the Chandrayaan 1 mission operations. It is currently supporting Mars orbiter mission. It helped ISRO to collect valuable information from Mangalyaan. This antenna also be used to collect information from Chandrayaan 2, which consists of an orbiter and a rover. You remember that, right? The deep space tracking generally requires huge antennas that can collect data from satellites. What does the deep space require? It requires huge antennas. Why? To collect data from satellites and astronomical telescopes launched into the deep space. In fact, ISRO is also developing a 11 meter diameter antenna which will be useful to receive data from astronomical observatory satellite, which is called AstroSat. Okay. Once this is completed, India Deep Space Network will be one of the world's largest ground station in the world. So ISRO has two tracking facilities. One is ISTRAC and IDSN. ISTRAC is ISRO Telemetry Tracking Command Network. It's a group of command networks headquartered in Bengaluru and has branches in Lucknow, Sriharkota, Port Blair, Thiruvananthapuram, and in Mauritius, Bears like Russia, Brunei, Biak. How does it work? It works in network operation, network augmentation, mission operations, spacecraft health monitoring, communications, computers, and control center facilities. Next is Indian Deep Space Network. It was launched in October 17, 2008. It consists of 18 meter, 32 meter, 64 meter diameter antenna. The 64 meter diameter antenna is in Bears Lake, Russia. Why? To improve visibility, duration, and provide support for from the far point. The main one is 32 meter deep space antenna, which helped in Chandrayaan. It's also helping Mangalyaan now, working with Mangalyaan. Okay, and ISRO is also developing 11 meter diameter antenna, which is useful to receive data from AstroSat, which is an observational satellite. Next is objectives of NISAR, or what is NISAR? NISAR. NASA and ISRO have collaborated. That is NASA ISRO Synthetic Aperture Radar. It's a joint mission of NASA and ISRO. It was supposed to be launched in 2020 or 2021. Maybe due to Corona, it might be delayed. Okay, this is a joint mission of NASA and ISRO. What is the main objective? Is to provide an unprecedented, detailed view of the planet Earth. So, it provides a detailed view of our planet, Mother Earth. The other main objective of the satellite are to observe and take measurements of some of the planet's most complex processes, including ecosystem disturbances, ice sheet collapse, and natural hazards such as earthquakes, tsunamis, volcano, and landslides. The data collected from NISAR, that is NASA ISRO Synthetic Aperture Radar, the data collected from NISAR will receive information about the evolution and state of Earth's crust. It also helps scientists better understand our planet's process and changing climate, which also aid in resource and hazard management. The mission is a partnership between NASA and ISRO. It has two major planned payloads. One is L-band and S-band. This L-band polar emitter is with SAR. What is SAR? Synthetic Aperture Radar with 24 centimeter resolution. The next payload is S-band polar emitter, SAR, with 12 centimeter resolution. Okay. NASA will contribute for L-band, whereas ISRO will contribute for S-band. Okay. Now let's go to the next topic, which is Aditya L1. ISRO's Aditya L1 is India's first solar probing mission of ISRO. What is it? First solar probing mission. It is conceived as a 400 kg satellite which will be launched into 800 km low Earth orbit. It will be placed in the halo orbit around the Lagrangian, I'll spell it Lagrangian, Lagrangian orbit or point, which is also called point 1 L1. So it's going to place this in the halo orbit around the Lagrangian point L1 of the Sun Earth system. This L1, which stands for Lagrangian point, which is 1.5 million kilometer from the Earth. This point is 1.5 million kilometer from the Earth. This point has a major advantage of continuously viewing the Sun without eclipses or occultation. So now you got the point why it's called Aditya's L1 mission. Why L1? From this point, which is at 1.5 kilometer from the Earth, we can continuously view the Sun without any eclipse or occultation. Okay. Aditya L1 was meant to observe the solar corona. Yes, our existing corona is named after the solar corona because of the similar shapes. Okay. The outer layer of the Sun, extending to thousands of kilometers above the disk. The Sun's disk is called photosphere. From there is a 1000 kilometers area. This area is called corona. Okay, this corona has a typical functionality, that is it has a temperature of more than million degree Kelvin, which is much higher than the solar photosphere or the solar disk. So for example, solar disk is at 6000 Kelvin, and this is at a million degree Kelvin. So how the corona gets heated to such a high temperatures is still unanswered question in solar physics. The major payload of Aditya L1 is the visible emission line coronagraph, which the satellite carries additional 6 payloads with enhanced science and objectives. The project is approved and the satellite will be launched in 2019-20 timeframe by CSLV XL from Sriharikota. Okay, why is it placed in Aditya? The satellite is placed in L1 object to observe the solar corona. The solar corona has a typical phenomena, that is, it has more higher temperature than the solar sun's photosphere, that is a million degree Kelvin, whereas the sun's disk is at 6000 Kelvin. Okay, apart from this, NASA has also launched its solar probe on August 12, 2018. What is it? It is called Parker Solar Probe. The American Space Agency NASA has launched Parker Solar Probe on August 12, 2018 with the objective of unlocking the mysteries of sun's atmosphere. This Parker Solar Probe was launched from Cape Canaveral Air Force Station in Florida using Delta Heavy rocket. Okay. The spacecraft will fly through the sun's atmosphere as close as 3.8 million miles to the sun's surface. This is well within the orbit of Mercury. Okay, more than 7 times closer than any spacecraft has went before. The Parker Solar Probe will employ a combination of in situ measurements and imaging to revolutionize our understanding of the corona, expand our knowledge of origin, evolution of solar wind. Okay, it will also make critical contributions to our ability to forecast changes in Earth's space environment that affect life and technology on Earth. Okay, understanding the sun will enable us to understand more stars throughout the universe, which will further help us understanding how the life developed on Earth. The Parker Solar Probe also helps us to understand the nature of solar wind. Remember, it helps us understand the nature of solar wind, which is very important. Why is it important? Because solar wind affects the Earth's magnetic field. Okay. In addition, the solar wind also affects the orbits of satellites, shorten their lifetimes, interfere with onboard electronics. Okay. So now let's go to the next topic. Falcon rockets. What is this Falcon rockets? Falcon is a group of rockets developed by Space Exploration Technologies, that is SpaceX. Who is the founder and CEO of SpaceX? Yeah, right, Elon Musk. Okay, this Falcon is a group of multi-use rockets which include Falcon 1, 9, Falcon Heavy, etc. These are successfully launched in 2008 after several failures. The largely evolved expandable launch vehicle of class Falcon 9 successfully flew into the orbit in its maiden launch. So the speciality of Falcon 9 was designed to reuse over a dozen first stages have landed vertically. Okay. The Falcon Heavy rocket carried this Tesla Roadster, this is the Tesla car, as a dummy payload and launched it into Mars trajectory, which is fantastic. Okay, Falcon Heavy is a partially reusable heavy lift launch vehicle derived from Falcon 9 vehicle. It consists of a strengthened Falcon 9 first stage as a central core. Okay. To remember, this Falcon are a group of satellites which are developed and operated by SpaceX. Now let's look at PSLV C-43 or Hyperspectral Imaging Satellite. ISRO successfully launched Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle C-43 from Satish Dhawan Space Center in Sriharikota. Okay. See, during the lecture I keep repeating certain points continuously because it helps in retaining, so it helps in your memory as well. Okay, the PSLV C-43, launched India satellite, hyperspectral imaging satellite, in short HISIS, and 30 other satellites. What is this HISIS? This hyperspectral imaging satellite is an Earth observation satellite built around ISRO's mini satellite 2. It weighs around 380 kg. The mission of the life of this mission is 5 years. Okay, the permanent goal of HISIS is to study the Earth's surface in both visible, near infrared, shortwave infrared regions of the electromagnetic spectrum. Data from the satellite will be used for a wide range of applications, including agriculture, forestry, soil, environment, geological observations, coastal zones, and inland waters. HISIS has had the company of 1 micro and other 29 nano satellites from 8 countries. From which countries? Australia, Canada, Colombia, Finland, Malaysia, Netherlands, Spain, USA. The total weight of these satellites was 260 kg. Satellites from Australia, Colombia, Malaysia, and Spain were flown on board PSLV for the first time. These foreign satellites launched are a part of commercial agreements between Antrix, that is commercial arm of ISRO, that is Antrix Corporation, ANTRIX, Antrix Corporation, and other countries. Okay, the launch of PSLV C-43 was the 45th flight of PSLV and 13th core alone configuration. So far, PSLV launched how many? 44 Indian satellites and 9 satellites built by students from universities and 269 international customer satellites. So that is why PSLV is called the workhorse of ISRO. So let's look at PSLV C-44. ISRO launched PSLV C-44 mission successfully on 24th January 2019, which successfully injected, which one? PSLV C-44 injected Microsat R and Kalamsat V2. Which two satellites it launched? It launched Microsat R and Kalamsat V2. This is PSLV's 46th launch and 44th successful launch. Okay. Microsat R is an imaging satellite. It weighs around 740 kg. It was exclusively meant for military purposes. This Microsat R was meant for military services. Okay. It served as a target for India's anti-satellite experiment, which is carried out in 2019 with the name Mission Shakti. If you remember, it was there in papers as Mission Shakti, the anti-satellite. Okay. Next is Kalamsat V2. It is the world's lightest satellite designed and built by Indian students working in private organization Space Kids, which is in Chennai. The weight of it is 1.26 kilograms. Very small. Okay. The next mission is PSLV C-45. It launched in ISRO launched PSLV C-45 rocket in 1st April 2019 with a payload of 29 satellites. How many satellites? 29 satellites. Of this, important one is EMISAT, that is Electromagnetic Intelligence Gathering Satellite. EMISAT, Electromagnetic Intelligence Gathering Satellite, is an Indian satellite, and the remaining are 28 are foreign satellites. What the weight of EMISAT is 436 kg and was launched into Sun synchronous polar orbit at a height of 748 kilometers. Okay, what does it do? It provides armed forces the ability to locate and inform the hostile radars placed at the border. For the first time, ISRO used a new variant of PSLV called PSLV QL with only 4 strap-on motors. Okay. The other 28 foreign satellites were CubeSats belonging to 4 countries, which together weigh around 220 kilograms. The mission tested an automatic identification system related to tracking of ships on the seas. Okay. The next mission is PSLV C-46 mission. Okay. ISRO launched C-46 rocket from Satish Dhawan Space Center in May 22nd in 2019. Okay. C-44 January 24, 2019, C45 1st April 2019, C46 May 22nd 2019. Okay, the C46 is the 48th PSLV launch and 46th successful PSLV launch. Okay, this was launched in core alone configuration. It successfully injected RESAT 2B, that is the India's Advanced Radar Imaging Satellite. What is RESAT? Radar Imaging Satellite, RISAT. RESAT 2B was launched. The weight of the satellite was 615 kilograms, that is roughly 600 kilograms. The applications are in the area of agriculture, forestry, disaster management. It can boost the capability to image Earth resources as well as enhance Earth surveillance and security. It has a sensor called synthetic aperture radar, which takes high quality radar images even during rains, darkness, during all seasons, ensuring continuous and reliable data. This is the third satellite after Israel built RESAT 2, okay, and indigenously built RESAT 1. So we will recap. We have started with ISRO's tracking facilities. There are two. One is ISTRAC, that is ISRO Telemetry Tracking Command Network, which has multiple stations, ground stations. Bengaluru, Lucknow, Sriharikota, Port Blair, Thiruvananthapuram, and other countries, Mauritius, Russia, Brunei, Indonesia. And the next we have discussed about IDSN, that is Indian Deep Space Network. It's a large ground station. So it served Chandrayaan 1 and it's serving Mangalyaan at the moment. Next is NISAR. NISAR is a collaboration between NASA and ISRO. NISAR abbreviates as NASA ISRO Synthetic Aperture Radar. What is this synthetic aperture radar? Useful for taking photographs during any season or during any time of the day or night. Okay. So it was supposed to be launched in 2020 and 2021. It has two payloads. What is L band and S band? L band polarimeter is contributed by USA, and ISRO's S band is being contributed by our country. Okay. Next we have spoken about ISRO's Aditya L1 mission. What is L1? Lagrangian point. What is so special about this point? This is a point which is at 1.5 kilometers from Earth, and it facilitates the viewing of sun without any eclipses or occultation. Okay. Aditya L1 is India's first solar probing mission. It is conceived as 400 kg satellite and will be launched into 800 km low Earth orbit, and then it will be placed into halo orbit around the Lagrangian point. Okay. So what is it going to do? This Aditya L1 was meant to observe only the solar corona, okay, the outer layers of the sun, extending to this corona is the outer layer of sun which extends to 1000 kilometers from the photosphere. The special phenomenon is the corona has higher temperature, that is million degree Kelvin, whereas the photosphere of the sun has 600 degree Kelvin. Okay. And then we have seen Parker Solar Probe of USA, that is NASA. This will fly through the sun's atmosphere at a close of 3.8 million miles to the sun's surface, that is within the orbit of Mercury, more than 7 times closer than any spacecraft has went before. This Parker Solar Probe will employ a combination of in situ measurements and imaging to revolutionize our understanding of the corona and expand our knowledge on the origin and evolution of solar wind. So it studies two things, solar corona and solar wind. Okay, why is the solar wind important? Because it can affect our Earth's magnetic field, plus it can affect our orbits of the satellite, shorten their life, interfere with their electronics, etc. And then we have seen Falcon rockets which have been developed by SpaceX. The owner is Elon Musk. The speciality is the Falcon Heavy, one of the rocket, is a partially reusable heavy lift vehicle launch in the world. Okay, Falcon Heavy rocket has highest payload capacity as compared to any operational launch vehicle in the world. After that we have seen PSLV C43, that is hyperspectral imaging satellite. This C43 launched hyperspectral imaging satellite on October 2018 plus 30 satellites with it. What is this HISIS? Hyperspectral imaging satellite is an Earth observation satellite. Okay, built around ISRO's mini satellite May 2. Okay, What the goal of this hyperspectral imaging satellite is to study the Earth's surface in both visible, near infrared, shortwave infrared regions of the electromagnetic spectrum. Data from the satellite would be used for a wide range of applications. For what? For agriculture, forestry, soil, environments, coastal zones, inland waters, etc. So HISIS had a company of 29 other nano satellites from 8 different countries: Australia, Canada, Colombia, Finland, Malaysia, Netherlands, Spain, USA. The total weight of the satellites was 260 kgs. The PSLV C-43 was the 45th flight of PSLV. Okay. Right. Till date, it has launched 44 Indian, 9 student satellites, and 269 international customer satellites. Okay. And lastly, we have seen C-44, 45, 46 missions. So now you understand of this chapter why it is PSLV is the workhorse. When was the PSLV C-44 mission launched? 45 launched, 46 launched. Okay. C-44, 24 January 2019. C-45, April 1st, 2019. C-46, May 22nd, 2019. So in 1 year, we had 3 launches. Okay. The C-44 launched Microsat and Kalamsat V2. Okay. What is Microsat? Is an imaging satellite which is meant for military purposes. It served as a target for India's anti-satellite experiment. This anti-satellite experiment of India was also called as Mission Shakti. After that, we have Kalamsat V2, which was launched by C-44 mission. This Kalamsat V2 is the world's lightest satellite, designed by whom? Scientists? Teachers? No, it was designed by students working with a space organization called Space Kids, which is in Chennai. The weight of it is 1.26 kg. Okay, next mission is PSLV C-45. It launched it has launched around 29 satellites, of which EMISAT, that is Electronic Magnetic Intelligence Gathering Satellite, which is important. It was launched in sun synchronous polar orbit. It provides armed forces the ability to locate and inform the hostile radar placed at the borders. Okay. And then we have seen C-46 mission. This C-46 mission injected RESAT-2B. This RESAT-2B is a radar imaging satellite. Okay. The applications of this satellite are in agriculture, forestry, disaster management, earth surveillance, security. It has a sensor called synthetic aperture radar. The specialty of the synthetic aperture radar is to take high quality radar images even during rains and darkness and during all seasons, thus ensuring continuous and reliable data. Okay, brilliant. We will end this class today. If you have any doubts and queries, or if you need any further information, you can mail us to biasacademy@gmail.com. Thank you for listening. Have a great day.